Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. We got a little project in front of us here. And a funny story. I went to get the rear tires replaced on my not so downhill Dodge. And these are the tires I'm replacing them with, by the way. I really like them. They're Cooper ST Max with 2 X's. That means you're really serious. I like them. They're really good tires. They seem to wear pretty well. The old ones are the classic BFGs. I think they're shit. They wear super soft or super fast. They're a soft tire. I just don't quite like them. Anyway, I go to Monroe Muffler to have them mount and balance my tires, and they can't get this rim off. They warm it with a torch and hit it with a dead blow, and it's not coming off, and they fuck around with it for 2 goddamn hours, and they can't get the wheel off. So he comes in, he says, "Oh, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to pay for the 3 tires now, then let the oil soak and the penetrating oil, and you could try it again tomorrow?" I'm like, "Look, I don't want to waste my time. I've already spent 2 hours watching you fucking hammer on this. You don't want to waste your time. I'm going to take this tire off of my driveway, and I'm going to bring it to you, and you're going to mount it for free." And he hemmed and hawed for a second. He seemed in disbelief that yours truly can do something that a big fancy shop can't. Like, "Oh, look at all the tools we have." I don't give a fuck. I have a torch, and I have a persuader, and I have some oil. That's really all you need. These people, they just didn't know how to use these tools to their advantage. And that is something that's important when you're working on even this stuff, but all their old crusty shit that you work on. Like, here's some old pumps I just got. Those old crusty shit, you have to learn how to sweet talk it just right. But you also have to know when to show the bitch who's boss. So the problem is, Dodge, I imagine most Chevy and Ford probably did the same thing. The inner rims are steel, the outers are the fancy aluminum. So the rim kind of rust seizes itself onto the hub, both being steel, and that's where it's bound up. So you can't just hit it with a hammer and jiggle it and have it come off. You have to kind of talk to it. You have to know what heat does. You have to know how much heat you can put into it, how much heat will actually do anything. The guy, he just sort of warmed it with a torch. I could touch the thing with my hand afterwards. That's not enough heat. Another trick, if you heat anything circular, you heat just one spot, that thing will grow into an oval. You don't try to heat the whole thing. You'll never heat this whole thing with a torch. All the heat will dissipate through everything. So there's one trick, and you can't just try one thing and walk away from it saying it doesn't work. There isn't any one silver bullet. There's no magic bullet. The torch helps, the hammer helps, the oil helps, but it's not one magic thing. I told him to try an air hammer. Here's one air hammer mark. That's it. One air hammer. They rattled it with, quote, a very expensive air hammer, and it didn't come off. Well, it's not a fucking magic wand. So, I'm going to show you how to talk to rusty shit and make it do what you want. So I squirt it with a little bit of oil. This is just some whatever penetrating oil I have. I'm kind of spraying it in the gaps of where the lug studs are, hoping that it kind of works its way back. Penetrating oil is kind of bullshit. I don't really believe in it much. It only helps when you have a lot of heat to help work that oil in, assuming the oil doesn't just catch on fire first. So let's give this some couple BTUs with the oxyacetylene torch and see what happens. Oh, and something else before I start. What I wanted to kind of touch on is that there's a couple of ways you can persuade this stuff and love it and make it do what you want. Of course, like I kind of already touched on it, heat works, penetrating oil works in conjunction with other techniques. Impact and vibration. Impact and vibration are similar. Impact is like that, a hammer, Vibration to me is like an air chisel or air hammer. High frequency, maybe not a high magnitude, but just a real vibration, and it just kind of jiggles all the little rust particles in there. It jiggles them around a little bit. It doesn't break them free, but it just jiggles them. And with a combination of those, and you being intelligent, you can watch this and see how it reacts to that and use the certain techniques to your advantage. If you have some oil on here, you're heating it with a torch, and you see little bubbles of oil coming out from some gap that you thought was tight. Well, if that bubble is coming out through a gap, that gap probably isn't as tight as you think, so you might want to focus on a different area. Or if there's some bubbles coming out there, you know it's loose, aim your hammer here, your pry bar, your air hammer. You know, you have to pick up these clues and use it to your advantage. Alright, so first off, I already kind of knew this, but they weren't lying. This motherfucker is on there. But I want to show you one of the little clues I was talking about earlier. Before, I could spray penetrating oil in there, in that hole in the rim, and it would just kind of run out. But now, after beating on it for a while, if I spray oil in there, it doesn't run out of the hole, it runs out of the gap between the rim and the hub. And I'm going to try to show that to you. See how it got wet there? See that? That means we have a little bit of a gap between the back of the hub and this rim now that wasn't there before. And also, between the rim and the hub over here is loose, because the oil can flow through. Still a little dry over here on this side though, so this might need some more external lubrication and vibration to make it slide and move the way we want to. And here's another little clue that lets you know stuff is moving. Seeing that gap there, right where the rim meets the hub, there's some brown rust rather than the black shit from you know, what was existing there, and also the burnt shit from the torch. That is fresh red rust that was not there before, and it's worked its way out along with the oil by me hitting on it, hitting on the rim with a hammer. And that vibration loosens everything up. Again, vibration and impact. It won't do it all in one go unless it's already pretty loose, but every little hit just moves it and wiggles it. And you can see it's working the rust out, and it's making that reddish oily shit right in the joint there. So that also means you're getting somewhere. Now another thing is knowing how much heat you can safely put into something. I know this is a large mass, so it can absorb a lot of heat, but after a while things do kind of equalize and get hot. I mean, see, I can touch this, it's not burning my hand, but it is pretty toasty. The hub is getting warm too, because the heat from here obviously is traveling through. So even though I wouldn't mind putting the torch to it again, I'm not going to. I'm going to let this rest and cool down, because it's not hot enough to really cause damage, but it is hot. The other thing, I should have done this before, this whole surface here is what it's stuck on and what it has to slide off of. So what I should have done first, but I'm going to do it now, is take a file or some sandpaper and clean that surface up so I don't have to fight it all the way off. This is where it gets satisfying. It is wiggling, it's finally fucking moving. Now you see I cleaned up that surface with a small file. Now I don't know if you can see in the camera, but if you compare that width right there, as I rotate it around, I don't know how well that'll come across on camera. Believe me, it is a little bit further back here than it is on the other side. And again, you can see some of that red rust oozing out in that gap there. Another thing you can see, this hole. Of course, that hole is right up against the hub in the back, but you can see it's casting quite a shadow now. So it definitely has moved towards me. Haha, fuck you, motherfucker. bitch, you are smarter than the old rusty piece of shit. It's not my first rodeo, not going to be my last. If some bullshit like this is your first rodeo, you just can't, you can't be too gentle, you can't beat the fuck out of it. You have to love it tenderly but roughly at the same time. And yeah, I beat the snot out of this fucking thing, I really did. But this is a steel rim, these things are tough as shit. So yeah, I fucking, you know, beat that a little bit. The very edge of the rim is a little, hey, you might say it's tired looking. Ha! I'm a comedian. But, you know what? It really doesn't matter. And yeah, that's a little chowdered up from the air hammer. I took my air hammer and I had a tip that I really didn't think I'd ever use, so I cut it flat because I didn't want to be going at it with a chisel tip or anything, even though I think that blunt end beat it up just the same. And another thing that I get a kick out of, the guy told me, oh, we tried using a very expensive air hammer. Well, you know what? This is a California pneumatic. I think I paid $5 for it at a flea market, and you know what? That thing fucking chooches like a son of a bitch. Just as good as any Fap-on, I would think. So, there's definitely some battle scars on this old bitch, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. And, you know, anti-seize is your friend. I'm going to clean this up some more with, you know, file and sandpaper and everything. Anti-seize the shit out of it when I put these rims back on. And I'm pretty damn sure the kid that did these tires, I doubt the other side is anti-seized. So I'm going to take that off, redo his work, anti-seize it real good so this doesn't happen again. The other thing, tires and rims specifically, oh man, just watch the guys when they're putting your tires back on, and if you feel so inclined, check their work, because I took these lug nuts off. Now I did watch the kid use a torque wrench putting the nuts back on, but I took all these lug nuts off with this wrench. No pipe on the handle, no breaker bar. I put it on and I stood on this, and I'm 140 pounds soaking wet, and I stood on this and it undid the lugs. So maybe, you know, 50 foot-pounds is good for a Honda Civic, but it's not good for a full-size dually pickup, or any pickup for that matter. So I don't know, I don't particularly trust mechanics, or at least El Cheapo ones. I'm looking a little too closely at my brake rotors here. Definitely need some fresh brake rotors. The pads aren't bad though. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. That is how you outsmart the rust. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to, you know, hubris is it's a good thing to have. It's a good motivator. It can get you into trouble if you get too cocky. But I gotta tell you, I'm gonna have a big swinging dick when I walk into Monroe Muffler with this rim and tire, because I did, in this weedy gravel driveway with cheap tools that I bought at flea markets, I did more right here than a garage could do. And you guys can do that too if you use your noggin. Think with your dipstick. Oh, one last thing. I learned the hard way. When you're jacking up vehicles, no matter how flat you think the ground is, put yourself some wheel chocks on the opposite corner. My old Blue Dodge almost rolled on top of me one time when I thought I was on flat enough ground, but I was just using a bottle jack and the thing started keeling over. I rolled out of the way in time. You know, you see I still have my top and bottom half attached. But anyway, bunch of little tips and tricks, but that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. You know the deal. Hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a comment down there if you feel so inclined. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the thumbs up if you like this. If you want to put beer in the fridge and engines and oil field engines and junk trucks and trailers and everything else in my collection, and tractors down in the doobly-doo. I can't think of the right word, not the comment section. You know what I'm talking about. There's a Patreon account, and there's a email that you can donate via PayPal if you feel so inclined. I appreciate it very much. I enjoy making videos. I've been slacking. This is a great opportunity to make another little video for you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, come on back for more.